born, we teach them Vaikasina. So because of them, they attain first, second, third, and fourth Vaikasina, absorption, concentration. At that time, all the meditators, they reported, oh, my Vaikasina absorption concentration is much better than Anapana. In this way, we make them understand how important, and we make their concentration getting deeper. This is one reason. So if they get the opportunity to practice all the other samatha meditation objects, their concentration getting deeper. The stronger the concentration, the better the penetration. For that reason. So another reason, if they are bhikkhus, ordained persons, one day, as they are bhikkhu, they can't avoid helping Buddhist people. One day, they will be asked, one day, please teach meditation. I want to practice meditation. At that time, they need to teach lay devotee or their junior bhikkhus. So according to my teaching experiences, some, they have accumulated good parami with anapana in their past. So in this very life, if they get the opportunity to practice anapana, they could develop easily. For those practitioners, so anapana is very good. But for some, with anapana, they encounter difficulty. Even to focus on the breath for 5 minutes, 10 minutes is uneasy. Even time passed, 2 months, 3 months, they could not focus on the breath well. So if the teachers are those who understand how to teach just anapana meditation object, how can they teach their disciples? How can they help their disciples? So at that time, if teachers are those who know how to teach other meditation objects, at that time, they change teaching other meditation objects. Sometimes we teach 4 elements meditation. So what I want to share with all of you, so among my disciples, so I have experienced one meditator from Korea. So she practiced anapana for 2 months, diligently, 5 sittings a day, but she could not maintain focusing easily on the breath. She encountered difficulty focusing on the breath. So 2 months. Already she practiced for 2 months. At that time, she would like to change meditation object. At that time, along the way, I was teaching. When she reported, I observed. In her report, I noticed she felt the characteristics of elements in her body more clearly. For that reason, I thought, it was 10 years ago, I think, I thought 4 elements may be suitable for her. And I taught her 4 elements meditation at that time. Even though she encountered much difficulty with anapana, for 4 elements, within 1 week she could successfully practice. So for some, we changed teaching Vaikasina. Some they could manage to develop Vaikasina meditation successfully. So in this way, it is very helpful. It is a way of sustaining the teachings of the Buddha. So we should hand it down from one generation to another in this way. Otherwise, the teachings of the Buddha will be destroyed or disappear easily. That's why not only the teachers, but also all the lay devotees need to go hand in hand. So even though the teacher is teaching, there is nobody who practices. How can we sustain? Okay?
And then the next question is that I want to ask is I read that actually the Buddha didn't taught Abhidhamma, but it was added by the senior monks during those Buddhist council when they added it in. So, but then we are always told to learn what is directly taught by the Buddha, right? So that's my question. How should we handle it?
Who told you that Abhidhamma is not taught by the Buddha?
I read in some books. I mean, those writers, they read a lot of sutta and then they say that monks or during the Buddhist council and added into the Tipika, is it, or something like that? Yeah.
So here, what I want to share with all of you, in a friendly manner, will be good for all of us. Okay? So, nowadays, in the Buddhist country, like Myanmar, Thailand. So in Thailand, a certain group didn't accept Abhidhamma. They also don't accept commentary too. They emphasize learning or studying just Pali Canon. They don't accept commentary and Abhidhamma. Who are they? They are those who don't learn. Mostly, forest tradition, they don't accept Abhidhamma and commentary. Do they learn Pali Canon? Not all. So, the half, another group, they accept Abhidhamma and commentary. They are those who learn Pali, commentary and Abhidhamma. So, what I want to share with all of you, to be able to translate, interpret Pali Canon properly, we need the help of commentary. So, in times of the Buddha, when the Buddha expounded the Dhamma, the Buddha, is the one who has omniscient knowledge, who knows individual accumulated bharami, the one who knows what meditator has practiced in their past, to which extent. Buddha is the one who knows how to teach the direct object for individual. That's why for the Buddha, he can open the heart of everybody, or he can support directly to the bharami of individual. That's why in times of the Buddha, those who met with the Buddha are those who had accumulated bharami along the way. The Bodhisattva was fulfilling bharami. At the time, with the Buddha, enough. But sometime, Buddha expounded the Dhamma. listeners, they didn't understand well. At the time they approached those very senior Mahathera, those who know well the wish of the Buddha. At the time they explained more detail what the Buddha taught. So it is commentary. So since Buddha's time, there exists this way of explanation. So in times of the Buddha, so they handed down from one generation to another verbally. Here you may feel doubt about if they have handed down the teachings of the Buddha verbally, how can they maintain? So from your ordinary point of view, you will think in this way. In times of the Buddha, many noble bhikkhus, almost all the arahants, when they attain arahant and fruition knowledge, they attain patisambhida jnana. Patisambhida jnana, how to translate? Analytical knowledge. So with the attainment of analytical knowledge, patisambhida jnana, they are those who knows the Tipitaka without committing into memory. With this attainment, they know the teachings of the Buddha. They don't need to commit into memory like all of us. Okay? That's why they can hand it down from one generation to another, Pali Canon, and also miscellaneous teaching, taught by the Buddha sometimes by the great disciples, chief disciples. So these are handed down in a form of commentary. Okay? So we are fortunate because of commentary. We know how to teach all of you. So suppose Buddha used the same word. At this, Buddha used a certain Pali word in a certain discourse. And then Buddha used this same word in another sutta. But the meanings are not the same. So, in the first sutta, the meaning is one. But in the another sutta, the meaning is another. So it is explained by the commentator. Commentators are those who knows the wish of the Buddha very well. So if we don't learn commentary, we cannot interpret the words of the Buddha properly. We cannot interpret the way we want. The words of the Buddha, the teachings of the Buddha, is intended to, the Buddha taught the Dhamma with the intention to realize the Dhamma. All his Dhamma is for the realization of the Dhamma. As you know, when we read a poem, the same poem, when we read, different people read, what happened? We interpret the way we understand, right? Why? There is no definite meaning in it. But the teachings of the Buddha cannot be translated as we like. Now what happened? Those who don't accept commentary, they interpret the teaching, the Pali Canon, the way they like. Unknowingly, it becomes their own commentary. Who should be relied? Who can be relied on? Who is reliable? those who know the teachings of the Buddha, those who are arahant in times of the Buddha, or nowadays, ordinary foolish disciple. Sorry for my word. Who should we rely on? For me, I will rely on the commentators of those days. They know very well. Why do I say? I will share with all of you. There is Anupada Sutta, directly taught by the Buddha. It is a sutta in which the Buddha praised the quality of the Venerable Sariputta. So, the quality of the capability and the quality of the Mahamoggallana, Venerable Mahamoggallana, was well known because he has very good supernatural power. So he was foremost